Hi, I'm Sandi Genovese, and today we're going to make a star style of book. Here, this one is themed for birthday, so I just have candles on the front, and I don't get too elaborate on the front because you're going to have instructions that tell the person that you give this to pull the front around until it touches the back. And then I've included a clip as part of the design, so all that needs to happen is they just clip the front to the back and that holds it closed. And you can see that I've just written happy birthday on the little red bands, and I'm hanging just birthday balloons from all of these open windows. Really fun, makes a great looking display, and it's so nice to look at that most people, if I spend the time to make something like this for someone, they leave it out. You know, it's not something that they just put out on the mantle on their birthday and then it goes away. It's like, it'll stay up a whole year sometimes. You're going to want to start with the actual cards themselves. And so what I did was I started with paper that is 6 by 8.5. And you're going to fold it in half like so, and then fold in half again so that you get accordion pleats. And this will give you the accordion pleated insides. Now you'll notice that each of these accordion pleated sections or cards, they all have a cutout window, which is the perfect place to dangle whatever style, in this case birthday balloons. So in order for that to happen, what I did was I just took like a post-it note, and this is 2 by 2 3/4 of an inch, and I am going to position this. What I've done first is I've gone ahead and I folded it in half, and then I'm going to hang it over the edge in the position where I want it, and then you can see I've already marked this just with a pencil. Mark, and you only really have to mark 1/2 because you can leave this folded and cut through both layers at once in order to cut out that window. And because they're all straight lines, if I weren't so lazy, I could get up and walk over to the paper trimmer and cut it on the trimmer, and then, you know, because straight lines are easy to do that way. However, this way you can also see just how you're going to do this portion of the project. So this cuts out the window, and right now, if there's any little pencil lines showing while it's flat, now is the easiest time to get rid of any of those pencil lines. So this will give you the window. Now you need to add, if you look at mine, you can see that each one of these cards is decorated, and it's a place for me to write my message. So what I'm going to do is take strips of red, and I'm going to just position them so that they sit inside like so. So these are 1 3/4 wide, and then the length is 3 1/4 in order for it to go from the edge right to that window. So I'm going to go ahead and place my adhesive and on the tag, and then I'm going to come down. I like this to not be right in the middle, but of course the beauty of making it yourself is you can put it right in the middle if you like. For me, I like it better when it's a little closer to the top or the bottom. I tend to like things that aren't perfectly symmetrical. I don't know why, but we all have our own personal tastes, and when you make it yourself, you get to honor those. So I'm going to put this in sort of the matching position on the other side and place it down. Now, because I'm going to go back and fold this, I do like to give this adhesive just a minute to set up. The good thing is you need 5 of these. So set it aside and go ahead and do the rest so that you'll end up with 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 5 of them here, and they've all already been, they already all have the folds and the red attached. At this point, you want to go ahead and add whatever element's going to hang, because while it's loose, it's easy to do. So to make something that hangs, you're going to want matching mirror image stickers. I'll put a link up to papery.com because they carry lots of Mrs. Grossman stickers, even discontinued ones. And her stickers almost always are mirror image, and other companies probably are too. So you just check, make sure for this project that you have a mirror image sticker. So if I'm going to take, for instance, the yellow, if I take this, I want the sticky sides to line up. If I see what this looks like here, see how the bottoms are not going to really match? They need to match when the two colored sides are together, or if I were to pull this the other way, the sticky sides. That's the mirror image. So what I'm going to do is I want two things to happen. I want there to be some thread exposed above and below this balloon. So I'm going to find what looks kind of like the middle and fasten my thread on the sticky side, just going right down the middle like so. Notice how I have a little of this still showing? That's because a balloon actually has a tail. You know, it's going to have a ribbon or something that's holding it, so that will sort of give you the sense of that. Now what I want to do is put the matching or the mirror image sticker right over the top. So I've got my thread right down the middle, and I'm going to trap the thread just in between these two sticker layers. So you end up with a dangling element, and it even has a tail. Now, if you look at mine, the tails show more because I realized having the white show, it shows fairly well with the red background, but it doesn't show much against the white. If you want to do that, all you need to do is to just take a permanent marker and use the marker to go right over the thread. And you can see here, let me try to hold the thread in place so I can do this. I usually do this before I actually attach it to the balloon sticker. But in case you want to add color to it, you can do that by just with a permanent pin. So once you have 5 of the balloons all hanging by their strings, then it's time to attach it. So I'm going to take and position this so that the balloon looks like it's hanging right in the middle, and I just need tape. And I can see that what I have handy here is removable tape. That will work well enough for me to show you how to put this together, but really you want a stronger adhesive. Regular tape would work great. So I'm going to really try to push it down hard. If you end up with extra thread, just trim off whatever extra there happens to be. I'm going to add another piece of tape just to keep this together. And I can see I do have a little bit of thread showing, so let me trim off that excess. So now, after you've done this for all 5 elements, you'll have the inside portion. Now you need almost like what you would think of as the card cover. So this, the dimensions of this, it's going to also need to be 6 inches tall because it has to match the height. But the length of this is 8.5, which actually matches what the white was as well. The key to this, to leave this part loose, you need to be sure that you only put your adhesive on what will be the first panel and the 4th panel, and you leave these 2 middle panels free so that it can open and close, and it gives you the dimensionality that makes this card so cool. So let me go ahead and put my adhesive on what will be panel number 1, and then we'll go back and we'll do panel number 4. And we want plenty of adhesive on here. So what I'm going to do is line this up with the cover and fasten it down. And I'm going to go ahead then and put adhesive on, this is what would be like the 4th or the last panel. And once again, I want lots of adhesive in there. So I'll bring this around and line this up. And then you can see when you open and close, just reinforce all these folds. So this gives you one completed panel. You need to repeat this 4 more times so you end up with 5 of these. Because once you have all 5, then it's a question of just taking, I don't have another one built, but let's pretend like this. Let's go ahead and give you the sense of what would be the next panel. If this were attached in here with the balloon already hanging inside, all I would need to do is fasten adhesive to the back of one and attach it to the front of the next one. And then you take adhesive and put it on the back of this one and attach it to the front of the next one. And you just keep doing that until you have all 5 all fastened together. So if I take my finished one and you look at it, you can see this was the first one, the second one, the third one, the fourth one, the fifth one. When you get the first and the last one, you don't need to attach it together. It's going to allow you to open and close the book. I've just added some candle stickers. Like I said, because this isn't really going to show, you don't want anything dimensional because you want it to come and fold flat. And it's going to be held here. There's so many different fun clips that you can use. And you know, I'm realizing that I forgot to stop and write the happy birthday. The happy birthday element is not hard to do, and you can do that just with your white pen. And it's easier to do before it's attached, but it will still work. So I'm going to go ahead and write happy birthday on each of these red panels, just to increase the awareness of the very special event that you're celebrating with this card. So happy birthday written twice just really increases the messaging on your card, so that when it's all together, like I said, you can see here is the panel that has the yellow balloon. And as I move around, you can see all the other balloons. Everything else is the same, just different colored balloons in each of the panels. And that simply, and that, it's not the quickest thing because you have to do it times 5, but none of the steps are hard. This is using it for a birthday theme. Here is a cool example. This is what I like about this is it will really work for any time you want to congratulate somebody. This is, I call it a cheers to you card. So if you look at the front cover, it's just toasting with 2 martinis. And I'm using this time a paper clip that has an arrow. When I turn and you look inside, this is a sticker sheet that has lots of different drinks that you could use to toast. They don't have to be alcohol, they could. Of course, you're going to want to have something great to eat with the toast. So I've got 1 wedge of cake, but all different styles of drinks that, once again, it's made identically. It's just this time I have an arrow clip that's going to hold it closed, and I have a yellow and white theme for what's going on in the pages. And then here was a Valentine that I had made for my father, and of course it was so special to him that he had kept it on display. So when he passed away, I ended up inheriting many of these things back. And it's funny, when I was turning and looking at all of the pages, I could see how well loved it was. Here's a little coffee stain, all of which just makes it even that much more special. But you can see that I've used the same red and white theme, but this time I've written love you, love you, love you instead of happy birthday, and I've dangled hearts that are die cuts instead of balloons inside. You know, a star book, it looks so great sitting out on display. Your friends and your family will love, love, love getting one from you.